local to me. Some great jokes. In fact, he's written 2 books. Here's one, the other's this one. And he brought a few copies along in case anybody would like to have them. I'll give you some samples here in just a second. In the meantime, Harold, would you stand up? Harold Wilkinson. I know that you're still at Mass General a couple afternoons a week, right?
Well, 2 days a week I work down there seeing consults and helping with the teaching. But my real love, as you see, is collecting jokes and humor. The small book is a series of tales told me by an elderly gentleman in Vermont, now deceased. Wonderful stories about life in old Vermont. And the other is the result of a group of friends who pestered the hell out of my email by sending me jokes by the I don't know how many. And about 3 years ago, I decided I would start just saving the jokes. And the same joke would recycle, and I would see it 2 or 3 times, but I saved it only once. And after 3 years of this, I found I had quite a collection of jokes, and I thought some of them were pretty good. So I put them together in this little book. They're categorized by topic. And I had a lot of fun doing that.
Why don't you tell him instead of Jack?
You can be replaced. Not me. Well, it was really amazing to me because it's hard for me to imagine that a doctor would also have this very developed sense of humor. I mean, well, you know, talents lie in different areas, but anyway, I will tell you this, that there is some spicy stuff in here, but everything has been edited by Harold and his wife, incidentally, to be acceptable in various parties. So if you happen to get one of these books or one of these books, particularly this one, you'll no longer have sand kicked in your face at the beach. You'll be the life of the party. Everybody will want you to go to parties every day, but you'll have to ration yourself a little bit. But anyway, it's a terrific book. Let me give you a couple samples from it. A husband was trying to fly a kite in his backyard one day, and he was not having a lot of success. As a matter of fact, every time he threw the kite up into the air, it would fly for a second or 2 or 3, and then it would flop to the ground. Well, his wife was watching out the kitchen window, and she was pretty disgusted because he obviously, like all men, according to her, didn't know what he was doing. And she decided to give him some advice. So she raised the window and she shouted out, "What you need is more tail." He said, "You're confusing me." He said, "Last night you said go fly a kite." Thank you, Harold. See, they're a little bit, but not too bad, you know. I think you could tell that in most company, at least. They've all been passed by the AMA, incidentally. This is going to require some very tough thinking. I'm going to describe a situation. I want you to imagine it and then tell me at the end what you need to do with this problem presented to you. You're on a horse, galloping at a constant speed. On your right is a sharp drop-off, and on your left side is an elephant traveling at exactly the same speed as you. Directly in front of you appears a galloping kangaroo, and behind you is a lion, also not gaining any ground but not losing any ground. What do you do? What do you do in this dangerous situation? You get your butt off your drunken butt off of that merry-go-round.
He likes it.
I changed one word there, Harold. You'll still recognize the joke, I think. I think it's cute. But you won't tell it was another 3-letter word in it. Okay, this is a story about a Harley biker. his motorcycle when he sees a girl on a bridge, and she's getting ready to jump off. "What are you doing?" he asks. She said, "I'm going to commit suicide." Well, he did not want to appear insensitive to her situation. He thought he'd take advantage of this opportunity, and he suggested, "Well, before you jump, why don't you give me a kiss?" So she did. After she finished, the biker said, "Wow, that was the best kiss I've ever had. That's a real talent you're wasting. You could be famous, and why are you committing suicide?" She said, "Well, my parents don't like me dressing up like a girl." Thank you, Harold. Finally, this is one that gets just as close to the edge as you could pretty much do, I think. But this is about a man who went to the dentist to have a tooth pulled. And so the dentist immediately pulled out the syringe and was going to inject him to anesthetize him. And the guy said, no, I can't stand the needle. I can't. Oh, God, no needles, please. I hate needles. So the dentist started then to hook up the laughing gas attachment. And the guy said, no, I can't stand gas. You put that mask over my face, I'll choke to death, you know. Well, the dentist said, oh boy, you know. And he said, do you have any problem with taking a pill? Oh no, said the guy. No problem with pills at all. He said, well, here's a Viagra. The guy said, oh, that's amazing. He said, I didn't know that Viagra had a capability of desensitizing you. And I said, it doesn't. He said, when I pull that tooth, it gives you something to hang on to. So, now these are pretty good jokes. I can't go through them, but there are probably 2,000 one-liners and/or full-time jokes like that. Thank you.